All is not well within the Social Democratic Front of Nijon Frundi with the constant media outings between Honorable Joshua Osi and Honorable Ninchu. And many persons are asking what is not going well. Is it already the battle to replace Nijon Frundi, who earlier on announced that once a convention for that party is held in Cameroon, he was going to pass a hand to some other person to move on with the destiny of the party. We are going to be discussing about the brouhaha between Honorable Ninchu and Joshua Osi on this edition of the program. We equally are going to be looking at the vaccine for COVID-19, asking why it is causing a lot of problems with some nations across the globe, suspending the administration of this vaccine in their respective countries, especially in Europe and Cameroon. We are going to be looking at the national policy to fight COVID-19 with our panelists who already are seated in the house. Good evening, televiewers. You're welcome to this edition of Prime Hour. We are in the company of our consultant who is seated Apostle Ambi Valentine Gwa. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening, Cameroonians. Good evening, my co-panelists and viewers of Prime Hour. It's always a joy to be here to discuss heart-burning issues that concern our nation, Cameroon, Africa, and the world. Thank you for being our audience tonight.
We are also in the company of Dr. Simo Maxel. She is representing the CPDM party on this platform. Bonsoir et bienvenue.
Merci Léo, merci aux co-panélistes, merci à vos milliers de téléspectateurs. C'est un plaisir d'être là, dans votre maison. Notre maison, dorénavant, je vais dire ça comme ça. C'est un plaisir.
Bienvenue. I also am welcoming Akwenba Nadia. She is the Vice President for the PCRN movement of Honorable Cabral Libi. She's in charge of the ladies of the diaspora. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Com. Good evening to my co-panelists. Good evening to all the televiewers of My Media Prime. It's a privilege being your invitee on this very prestigious platform of yours. I want to send a special salutations to all the viewers. You know, they always take out time on their busy schedule to be able to watch us. So I am happy to know that you're always there for us. Thank you.
And special greetings to Honorable Cabral Libino.
I always greet him. He's my president, so he always owns my greetings. So I greet you, sir.
Okay, and also with us today is Damai Jarvis. He's going to be sitting in to accompany us discuss these two key topics. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Yo. Good evening, Yaoundé. Good evening, Bamenda. Good evening, Boya. Good evening, Baba Jude.
Okay. We are expecting to be discussing with Ndifo Richard from the United States of America. He is a sympathizer of the STF, and also with Ndi Chi Diodone, who is a youth leader within the STF party. He's supposed to join us from Yaoundé. I don't know whether any of them is available. Good evening, Ndifo Richard.
Well, I am not able to. I don't know if you get it. I'm not getting sound.
Good evening. We can get you.
Oh, all right. Good evening. Thanks for having me. My pleasure with your program. I hope I'll be able to get sound, and I'm really having a hard time having the sound from that.
I'll start the program with you. I don't know whether Chi Diodone is available. Good evening, Chi. Okay, if he's not there, I'll stay with Ndifo Richard. Ndifo Richard, can you paint the picture of what is happening within your party, the Social Democratic Front? What is happening?
Yes, thank you so much, Leonard. I have been following the event in the party. I think that it's just a normal thing that any democratic party, any party that's vibrant, SDF, it is very common to find individuals with different ideas and different views. If in the United States we have people with different views within the Democratic Party and even with the Republican Party. It is nothing strange to find that Ninche and Osei have some differences in their opinion. What I find disturbing is that these opinions are being taken to case. But I think that those are the expression of democracy, and it only tells us that the SDF is not a party where individuals have monopoly of opinions, and that they do not tolerate others checking their opinions. So I think that only tells how healthy democracy is within the SDF.
Okay, and for Richard thinks that it is an expression or a show of democracy, like I coined the topic for tonight. Are you very comfortable with what you are getting from within the Social Democratic Front?
He might have said that is a show of democracy, but it's very disheartening to realize that what is eating the beans is within the bean seat.
Okay.
It's so shameful to realize that a political party that has built a very strong democratic image in the country like SDF is acting like a communist party at the end. Why would I say so? John Frundi is a role model and a pathfinder to practical democracy in this country, and we must applaud that. In 1992, he won the elections, and like any other opposition leader, was supposed to have driven this nation into a civil war. But as a sportsman and a very intelligent political technocrat, he managed his emotions not to allow Cameroonians enter into bloodshed. That one should be applauded. And I think John Frundi is a role model and a pathfinder to the concept of democracy in this country. And then secondly, a party chairman who is still alive, but he hands the flag bearer of the party. He's still the chairman. He hands the flag bearer of the party to another person. That was done in Bamenda when they had their meeting. They gave it to Honorable Joshua Osei, even though he was a chairman but not a flag bearer. That's the democracy. That is, you are still alive and you are handing power. Not the one that you must die as a king before somebody replaces you. That's not democracy. It's monarchism. A monarchical style of government. So I think that he has given, then now he's still alive, and then he's resigning as a chairman of the party, and then giving opportunity for the youngsters to come and take on responsibility. I think that should be applauded for the 28 years that the CPSDF has been in this country. Even if Frundi never sat on the Cameroonian seat in the presidency, I think Frundi has been a very good example of practical democracy, and that should be applauded. Now, to realize that his own proteges that grew under him, people whom he has imparted life and integrity in them, he has inspired them on how to live in integrity, in peace and in oneness. Ninche and Osei come now and they are wrestling for chairmanship. They are fighting, because if you look at the kind of insults that they rain on each other, different media platforms, both the TV medias and written media, social media platforms, they throw insults on each other. It shows that these people are power mongers. Why would I say so? These persons in question are parliamentarians. There are people who have ruled the party for many years. I think at the level where they are right now, Joshua Osei should not even be vying in for another office. Being the flag bearer of the party is sufficient. He was supposed to have just kept himself somewhere and allow a longer generation or somebody else to take up the responsibility. If he is the flag bearer of a party and he is still contesting for chairmanship, it's like the greedy hunter.
Yeah, but he's not contesting. I don't know where is he said that he's contesting.
This battle, it is not publicly displayed with no political manifestation. Everybody is trying to project an image that the population will see him as the better party. That's what is happening right now. There is a Cold War, and the Cold War, words are not thrown in the air. It's actions that speak better. Each of them is trying to sabotage the image of the other, so they will look him as a better candidate. It's like a greedy hunter after harvesting an elephant. He sees a grasshopper by the roadside. He's trying to harvest it. What are these persons still fighting again for? Ninche in question and Osei in question. So I think that they should not sabotage and they should not make a mockery of the blueprint of democracy that John Frundi has left in this country.
Yeah, but when you say Joshua Osei is attacking, I have not seen him attack. He signed a petition against the U.S. Congress members, and then suddenly everybody's attacking him.
No, Ninche attacked that.
Yes.
Ninche attacked that. When he has gone to different media platforms, we have asked him questions, and his response will tell you, fight is not like that. He was here, and you interviewed him here, and you heard his response. I followed up the program. I'm not a novice in Cameroonian politics. I followed the response. There are technical way of responding to somebody by insulting. I can insult Nadia on this floor without she knowing. uses a kind of euphemism to communicate something very hard in a very nice manner. So I think that we should be very, very tactical. We are talking as political analysts, as men who have heard the words from their mouth. There is a power tussle. If not, you will not come here and say brouhaha. The word brouhaha in English means there is a noise. There is something shaking somewhere. So if we come and we put a topic that we cannot address the topic, then there's something wrong with us.
Docteur Simo, est-ce que vous avez l'impression que ça n'y va pas dans la machine du SDF à ce moment-là?
Parlant du SDF, je peux être d'accord sur un élément avec votre consultant, mais je suis un peu gênée que l'on parte du conflit Oshi-Nietzsche et qu'on parle de démocratie, non, ça fait problème. Je veux bien qu'on parle de démocratie dans le SDF.
Oui.
C'est-à-dire c'est l'esprit que le père fondateur, je vais dire ça comme ça, a développé, cet esprit démocratique où il y a libre manière de penser et d'agir. Voilà l'esprit que le père fondateur avait mis sur pied. Mais malheureusement, l'évolution du temps nous permet de voir autre chose, parce que au fil des années, parce que lorsqu'on parle de ces deux individus, que ce soit l'honorable Nietzsche ou l'honorable Oshi, ce sont quand même des personnes, des deux hommes politiques de poigne, et puis des vieilles personnes sur le plan ou alors dans la vie du SDF. Ce n'est pas des militants d'aujourd'hui, mais ce sont les militants de la première heure, des anciens militants. Mais malheureusement, qui ont des visions ou des perceptions différentes. Parce qu'il faudrait qu'on parte de là. On a un honorable Oshi qui est très tempérant, qui est beaucoup plus doux, contrairement à un honorable Nietzsche qui est beaucoup plus dans une logique de violence. Il faudrait qu'on le dise et qu'on l'observe. Alors maintenant, vous vous rendez compte que les deux personnalités du parti sont dans une lutte de rapports sociaux qui donnent l'impression qu'il y a une guerre de positionnement. Surtout que ça commence à se décliner depuis que le père fondateur, a établi un léger glissement. Parce que quand il était là, si vous observez, faites un peu une anthropologie de ce parti. Lorsqu'il était encore en pause, il y avait beaucoup d'actions qui étaient souterraines. Les voix ne s'entendaient pas, les comportements, on avait l'impression d'être d'accord sur un point de vue. Mais depuis qu'il a établi un léger glissement, tout porte à croire qu'il y en a qui ne sont pas d'accord avec le choix imposé ou alors le choix qui a été fait pour le remplacer. Donc malheureusement, voilà le problème qui se présente, cette guerre de positionnement et qui démontre une fois de plus que l'opposition a du mal, je vais dire, à se mettre debout, parce que ça il faut le dire, à se mettre debout ou alors à épouser sa logique ou son idéologie. C'est dommage, parce que je suis un peu gênée quand j'entends des hommes politiques dire non, l'honorable Nietzsche est un excellent député, il est ci, il dit ce qu'il pense et puis il a émis son point de vue. Je dis ben attendez, on peut avoir les points de vue divergents, ça c'est d'accord. On ne refuse pas, c'est un droit absolu. Mais la logique voudrait que, lorsque mon confrère a un point de vue qui n'épouse pas le mien, que j'adopte une méthode pour lui dire, confrère, je pense que ce que tu as fait n'est pas bon. Voilà comment je vois la situation. Que de l'exposer sur la plate publique ou alors sur la toile de cette manière-là. Et on assiste malheureusement à des tirs de balles. C'est perceptible. L'honorable Oshi qui va se trouver sur un plateau et commencer à vilipender son confrère, ce qui est dommage pour deux personnalités aussi solides d'un parti politique, d'ailleurs le premier parti de l'opposition. Cet élément-là, cette classification-là, on ne va jamais le leur enlever. Tout le monde sait. Hier, quand on parlait de RDPC, tout ce qui était à côté, c'était le SDF. Donc c'est parce qu'aujourd'hui, plusieurs partis politiques pilulent à côté qu'on va croire qu'il y a eu encore un glissement au niveau de la position. Non. Jusqu'aujourd'hui, le SDF reste le premier parti de l'opposition. Mais malheureusement, ou alors vivement, que le chairman se remette sur pied, tape du poing sur la table pour essayer de remettre ces deux enfants, n'est-ce pas, sur le droit chemin.
Nadia, what reading do you make of the standoff between Honorable Joshua Osih and Honorable Nietzsche? Is it the fight to take over the command button from Chairman John Fundi?
Well, Mr. Com, SDF has been a very powerful opposition party in Cameroon. This was a party that fought for multipartyism in Cameroon, and today we have diverse parties in Cameroon that are freely exercising the democracy that was, prompted by the SDF. But today, in the midst of SDF, we find a lot of trouble in between them. We find a lot of disorder. We find a lot of, people fighting themselves. And to my own conclusion, I would say that, most political parties today, especially the opposition parties, are faced with the problem of leadership. When I talk of leadership, it means what as the chairman of SDF, which is Pa Nijon, I call him Pa because he's a grandfather to me. As a leader of a party, before you're going to a retirement age, you're supposed to already you build somebody that will be able to take over you, and this should not be creating a lot of noise in the midst of parties. But today we find out that in politics, as we say, politics is a game of lies and all that. Political beings and political men have become we just want a place in the sun, we do not care, and they try to paint images like I am for the population and this other person is against the population, and that's the two images we are having in the midst of SDF. Joshua Osih, people say he's he doesn't care about his people. He is closer to the LDPC, and Nietzsche, who is so proactive, is closer to the people. So that's the idea they have built. They try to tarnish each other as images, and they create a lot of disorder, and this has resulted to kind of we're fighting for a successorship, which is not really true to me, because during the presidential elections we had a Joshua Osih that really produced a very poor result. This really shows that he is not capable of bringing that party to the peak, because SDF was a party that was really applauded at one point, but today we find SDF really dying because they were the ones that brought this multipartism. They were the ones that brought the dynamic diversity in ideas. But today we find out that in their own party, that diversity of ideas is not really garnished together. So I think that there is a lot of problem. There is a problem of leadership. And Mr. Liu, I also bring you to the problem of tribalism. This tribalism brings a lot of problem in the midst of parties. And I think that it is a tool from the LDPC. They are always there, to divide parties, because in the midst of parties, when we are united, we stand. When we are divided, we fall. So
why are you bringing the CPDM into this?
I bring the CPDM into this because, the CPDM, it's the machine, as we can say, but they always have a means to divide political parties, especially the opposition parties. They always use every means to be able to divide them. That's their own way of ruling. So I think that the hand of the LDPC is in the troubles that
you think
is
that
facing.
The CPDM is telling OC that insult Nietzsche and telling
they are not telling them,
Mr.
Combe, they are not telling them that insult. Insult is a personal thing, and I can also hold, media men, because, at one point they invite Joshua Osih, they invite Nietzsche to be able to confront them, and it creates a lot of noise. So to me, I think that everyone's hand is in it, even the media men like you guys and the SDF. You guys,
why are you blaming us?
I blame you people, because what happened in a TV station or radio station, it's not normal that that there is trouble or there is a problem in a party. You keep adding kerosene to the fire so it blows out. It is a means of the SDF. The LDPC. The LDPC will always use means to be able to divide parties. And I am not saying that the LDPC asks the Nietzsche or OC to insult, but they come and give them some kind of ideas and fill their brains with some kind of things like this person doesn't like you, there is tribalism, this party is for the Bamley case, this party is for the Anglophones. That is the division, and that division is being created by the party on power.
Okay. I don't know whether Ndifo, are you still there?
I'm here, Leonard.
Okay, Ndifo, Richard, you have been following discussions back here in the studio. Some people think that the tussle between these two big wigs of the Social Democratic Front is to some extent because of the fact that the chairman has not clearly chosen who should take over. Is that democratic for you to groom someone to take over the party?
Yeah, thank you so much, Leon. I hope that I got it clearly. But I want to say the SDF is a democratic party.
I can see you now, sir.
Okay, Chi Simili Chi Jodone is available. Good evening, Chi. How are you?
The sound is not good. I cannot get you, sir.
We get you clearly. Can we have him on the screen? How is Yaoundé this evening?
Sound.
Continue.
Okay, you have to take Democratic Front.
Conflict to understand and as a opposition party. Remember that the party was quiet, and the fact that we have these factors. Honorable Fundish, His Excellency John Fundi should have appointed or groom somebody. That's not democracy. We are going back to what we blame Cameroon to be. Imagine that President Biya grooms somebody that will take over him. You will be one of the persons to shout that no, it's not democracy. And so we expect that SDF, as it is now, should move on with its plans. Go whoever is eligible takes over. But I appreciate what Apostle said, because vying in for that position, whether that person is coming from far north region, as long as that person is eligible to meet the criteria. I am kind of saddened when I hear talks like CPDM is intruding. No, CPDM is not intruding. If CPDM is intruding, then they are the person inviting CPDM to intrude. CPDM will not come and tell Ninche that you should do this, you should do that. I remember your interview, you asked Osi that will SDF or can SDF collaborate with CRM? He said yes. And then when you see the insult that is being traded, this person is saying that Ninche is closer to CRM, and this one is saying Ninche, this one is closer to CPDM. You get this kind of trading views. To me, what they should be about policies. They should say, okay, if I'm the chairman, or this is what the party should be. But first, Mr. Lewis, as I said, it is a good thing for the party that this conflict is coming, because you are not hearing about other political parties. You're talking about SDF now. Everywhere is SDF, and it's telling us that Fundi has that the view of democracy which he had is coming into fulfillment, to see that people have that ability to compete within the party, within the primary level. Look at what happens in Nigeria. This will happen. If you are a chairman of the party, you don't vie in for any position. That's why you see the PDP chairman of Nigeria is not the person that go in for presidential election. The chairmanship is the guardian, the custodian of the party. But in Cameroon, we tend to see where the chairman wants to be the person to go in. So when John Fundi gave the command baton in 2018, it was the show of democracy to tell them that, okay, it is not me that must become the president, but whoever becomes the president, I command the ship, like what happened in the CNU party where we had, before we had the coup d'etat, when at one point in time, Aijo was the chairman and President Biya was the president. So in democratic system, you have a system where the chairman is not someone running for the party. It's the same thing with America. In America, whoever is the chairman of the Republican National Party is someone who is not a senator, not a member of Congress, but someone who is void of this position. So I think that we need somebody in SDF that will talk the story by guiding these politicians to do what they are supposed to do, and not someone who will be honorable and a chairman. If there's a problem with the district of let's say Limbe, and honorable is at the Senate, let's say it's at the parliamentary session, how do you reconcile this problem? You need a chairman that whose function, whose top job is there for the people, not someone who you want to call the person tells you, I'm in the parliamentary session, I'm in the senatorial session, I am this and that, following bills and that and that and that. No. For example, Honorable John Fundi now, wherever he is, you can attend to the problems of the party without telling us that he's at the parliamentary session, the mass session. Those are the kind of things that that I think we should look at.
Okay, our Kings, this is good evening, Mr. Liu, and to all in the studio. For me, I think the SDF needs a leader who is vibrant, not people who will spend time moving up and down, struggling to explain their actions. Is that the type of leader that should replace John Fundi?
I think when we are talking about leadership, most of the times we get very frustrated because we think that people's grammatic expressions and their political inclinations qualify them for leadership. There are very outstanding leaders in the SDF party that have proved their worth. I'm not here by any means to trade or commercialize anybody, but I think Mayor John Donatus, who has headed the council somewhere around Kumbo there.
In Kumbo,
has left an indelible mark when it comes to leadership. I'll say that anybody who is not able to manage 100,000 to 1 million is not able to run a nation. What are the credibilities of these leaders we are trying to put into responsibility? Is it because of their political inclinations, their titles, or what? Anybody who is able to take a council, a simple council, because these are the parameters that are supposed to be using to qualify leaders. A man who is given a royal council, if it turns into an urban council or upgrades the standard of the council, he should be given a nation, because micro leadership gives credibility for macro leadership. Micro gives birth to macro. Anybody who has not heard, can you tell me what Ninche or OC have done so far in terms of environmental, infrastructural, economic, and educational development since they have been sitting in the parliament? We are talking about entitlement with that. We are talking about titles with that entitlement. What have they accomplished? John Donatus took the Kumbo Council. I don't know him. I've never met him. I don't come to trade.
And nobody was able to take it for 25 years. I'm sure. Yeah.
And you look at the way he managed the Kumbo. People can attest to the fact that the job he did there was outstanding. Those are the kind of person you can start envisaging that, okay, in case peradventure, you can pick him and put as a chairman. If tomorrow he stands out to become the president of the nation, the idea he used to grow a micro community, he can still take the same principles to develop a nation. Those are the kind of, and those are persons who are hidden somewhere there in the SDF party sitting quiet, which is very, very important for us to go into. We'll check into those files. Coming back to these guys called the OC, OC is already a flag bearer. Like what Trump said. In Nigeria, the APC, the presidential presidency was Buhari, while the chairman of the party is Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yes.
You go to Cote d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara is the presidential flag bearer, yes, while the executive party is Adama Bitogo. So you discover that there is a separation between the chairmanship and the presidential flag bearer. How can a man be an honorable? He wants to be flag bearer and wants to be chairman. That is great of monumental proportion. And I think that with that kind of person in responsibility, if he goes to power, we are going to see what we have not seen even in the regime of Biya. So the idea of them even coming up to stand or to even think that they can stand as the chairperson of that party is very funny. And to clarify that democracy, I want to applaud Fundi again. I will say it and I will still say it. I will applaud him for the fact that he was not able to fabricate a leader.
Yes.
The fact that there is a power tussle is a clear indication that the person who is leaving is not a monarch, it's a democrat. Because monarchs always leave chief the chieftaincy mentality to leave their children, like what Obiangema is trying to do now in Cote d'Ivoire, like what this guy in Togo, Yadema Nasingbe did to Fure Nasingbe after killing Sylvanus Olympia. Olympio. The same goes to Gabon. In Gabon, Obabogo, Dimba. It goes round and round. So we just pray for Cameroon also. We are praying for Cameroon also by the grace of God. I pray as a man of God now. So, so I think that we should go out of the monarchical system of government and enter into practical democracy. Frundi has demonstrated democracy in this country, even though he has not headed this country. In his domain as a political leader, he has given us a fine blueprint for us to study the course of democracy. I don't think those who are coming from behind will want to eradicate and annihilate the legacy that this old man has left for us. Please, Ninche and Osi, in the name of our gods and the God of heaven, don't wipe away the integrity this Baba has left for us.
Ok. Vous avez l'impression que ça pourra signaler la fin du SDF ou si ce n'est pas bien encadré, ce qui se passe?
Non, permettez Léo que je souligne quand même quelque chose. Lorsqu'on parle d'un parti politique, un parti politique est construit autour d'une idéologie. C'est ça qui constitue le parti politique. Quand quelqu'un vous dit j'adhère au RDPC, c'est parce que j'adhère à l'idéologie du RDPC. Quelqu'un vous dit je suis membre du PCRN, c'est parce que j'adhère, j'ai accepté, j'ai épousé les idées de ce parti. D'ailleurs, c'est ça qui explique le fait que chaque fois que vous voyez quelqu'un sur un plateau vous dit voilà la position de mon parti sur telle problématique. Ça montre qu'il est discipliné. Parce que le parti est construit autour de l'idéologie, autour de la discipline. Voilà deux éléments qui caractérisent un parti. Alors, lorsque vous commencez à voir les militants d'un même parti commencer à avoir des idées divergentes, non, ce n'est pas de la démocratie. Il y a un désordre qui commence à s'installer. Parce que la logique voudrait qu'ils épousent la même idéologie. Je voudrais qu'on se comprenne à ce niveau. Maintenant, entendre votre consultant dire que le père fondateur n'a pas préparé un leader, je dis, ben attendez, vous pensez que lorsqu'il allait à Bamenda et portait son choix sur Oshi, il n'a pas calculé? Non, ne donnez pas l'impression qu'il l'a fait de manière fortuite. Le calcul a été serein. Pour prendre la tête d'un parti, qu'est-ce qu'il faut? C'est pas crier sur tous les toits chaque jour qui va déterminer qu'on a la puissance, qu'on a la haine, qu'on a la poigne. Non. Il y a un ensemble d'éléments que le père fondateur recherchait. Et forcément, et j'en suis convaincu, il a trouvé ces éléments en honorable Oshi. Maintenant, ce qu'il faudrait qu'on mette sur pied, c'est une organisation autour du choix qui a été porté. Mais on a l'impression que depuis l'installation ou alors le choix porté sur Oshi, il y a certains camarades qui n'adhèrent pas. C'est perceptible, tout le monde l'a vu. Et du coup, qu'est-ce qu'on va faire? Il faudrait qu'on crée des contre-positions et on essaye même, parce qu'à ce moment, au SDF, rassurez-vous, il y a même des partis, des militants pour l'honorable Nicheux et des militants pour l'honorable Oshi, ce qui devient extrêmement dangereux pour un parti politique. C'est ça qu'il est question.
Oui, mais c'est ça ma question, non? Si ce n'est pas bien...
Justement, si le père fondateur ne se lève pas comme un homme pour leur dire, bah, attendez, je ne suis pas mort, I still alive, quelque chose de mal va se produire. Il est important qu'il se lève et dise exactement, voilà, ou alors mon choix a été porté sur, parce que, et vous devrez respecter.
Vous ne pouvez pas imposer les idées de RDPC à tout le monde.
Je ne suis pas en train d'imposer.
Oui,
j'ai émis, permettez, j'ai émis des hypothèses. En principe, on est dans une guerre de positionnement qui est perceptible. Et cette guerre, si personne ne la calme, ou alors si quelqu'un ne la stoppe pas, on va arriver à une division du parti. Parce qu'au jour d'aujourd'hui, je vous dis, par expérience, il y a des militants qui sont penchés pour l'un et certains qui sont penchés pour l'autre. Je vous le dis. On ne va pas les citer. On ne va pas les citer. Il faudrait bien que le père dise qu'il est encore là.
For Richard, I don't know whether you are available. And for Richard, the party is gliding. we have lots of problems this evening. Getting no, we can't. It's too dark. It's too dark. We can't use that. Even Ndifo is there. Can we have Ndifo, please? Ok.
Si vous me permettez une seconde pour chuter, parce que j'ai pas pu le faire.
Ok.
Non, ce que je veux dire, c'est que lorsque un chef, ou alors un chef d'un parti politique, même lorsqu'il décide d'abandonner le parti, et ça c'est ce que les hommes de politique doivent savoir, il reste ce qu'on appelle dans un parti une personne ressource. Ça veut dire qu'à un moment, lorsqu'on est en difficulté, on peut se retourner vers lui. Ça parce qu'il vous a laissé le parti que vous estimez qu'il n'a plus grand chose à dire. C'est ça qu'il faudrait qu'on comprenne. Et je vous dis, dans cette situation, il est impératif, je dis bien impératif, que le père fondateur, qui est Nidjon Fundi, se lève et dise quelque chose. Pour essayer, on estime que lorsqu'il va parler, ça va remettre de l'ordre dans le camp. Vous avez entendu la communication du PCN vous dit que le RDPCI est inclus. Et vous entendez quelqu'un d'autre vous dire non, le MRC est inclus. Et puis ça va créer à la fin des informations qui vont jaser de partout et qui ne va pas accompagner ni aider le SDF. Il faudrait que le chef se lève.
You raised the issue that the SDF could be pushing for what is happening within the CPDM. Yes, but we have two tendencies. There are people who think that the MRC is also pushing hard for Nietzsche to take over the chairmanship of the SDF because there is a likelihood that Honorable Nietzsche would seemingly or easily work with the CRM to say that it's not only the CPDM that has interest in what is happening within the Social Democratic Front, the CRM also.
Well, Mr. Kom, before I answer your question, I would like to, bring some ideas upon what our consultant said. He said that in democracy, there's supposed to be, confrontation of people and all that. But to me, I think democracy is not liberty. When we talk of democracy, we mean people can have diverse ideas, but they are they have that same ideology and they concur and they garnish all together. But what we are seeing in the SDF is not democracy. Like I can tell you, Mr. Kom, in the problem we have today in most of our big companies with these multi-million companies, when the leader dies, the company tends to fall. Why? Because the leader did not prepare someone that will take over him. That is not monarchy. I call that democracy still, because when we talk of democracy, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to be liberty and everything just happens like that. The leader can prepare someone because of some qualities, because of a common goal, because of what he sees in that person, because of the interest of the party or the ideology of the party. So I think that Nidjon was supposed to prepare somebody, because I tell you, Mr. Kom, it doesn't always mean that when people, accept somebody, that person is up to the task. At times we have this problem of tribalism, we have this problem of favoritism, we have this problem of, this is my person and I go for him and I canvass votes for him. That is the problem. So I think that democracy can still be that the leader prepares somebody that will be able to carry the ideology of the party or brings the party to its peak according to the ideology and the common goal. That is what Mr. Nidjon was supposed to do, because the problem we are having today is the power of the struggle of who will take over Nidjon, who will take over power, who will succeed the father, because recently he announced his retirement, but still he still has that sole responsibility to produce someone that will take over him. That is what I think. And to your question, Mr. Kom, when you said that there are people that says the MRC is inside and all that, in every party we have those we call infiltrators. They always infiltrate parties, those that do not really, garnish or are into the ideology of the party. Even in my party, the PCRN, we have infiltrators. And what happened during the regional elections? We had our municipal councillors that voted against us. So in a party, we have people that come from other political parties, and they are in your party just to destroy the party. That is why I said there are people from the LDPC, there are people from the MLC that are in that same party and that are creating disorder. And they think that they are with Nietzsche or with OC. So I think that in the midst of a party, we have people that are not into the ideology of the party and are there sent as spies by other parties to be able to, bring that party to a handicapped state. So that's the answer to your question, Mr. Kom.
Okay, definitely the CRM is not hoping that Honorable Nicho takes over.
Mr. Kom, let me answer you, because you know we have so many ideas. There are people that says that Nicho is closer to the MLC. Yes, and he accepted that, because on one platform in one TV station he said it is better for me to be closer to the MLC than to be closer to the RDPC. So it brings that kind of idea, and the fact that he's a Bamileke and all that, this kind of, you know, how did they call it, tribalism, favoritism, and you know, other people that infiltrate the party because they say, Mr. Kom, when you give room for the devil, he enters. So I think that Pani John has given a lot of liberty in that party, and we have had people that infiltrated and are trying to divide the good work that Pani John has been working for.
You would have loved him to manage the SDF like President Paul Biya does for the CPDM?
Mr. Kom, I would have loved him to, you know, he is already going to his retirement age. He recently announced that he's going for retirement. He would have prepared somebody that is up to the task, because recently he's the one that, you know, took Joshua Osei as the flag bearer of that party.
It was an election.
It was an election. Brett, was that election? He was the one that proposed. He proposed.
I was there. It was not easy. It was not as easy as. Yes, I was there. I took part in that convention from start to finish.
Yes.
It was very heated, explosive election.
Très serré, c'était très serré.
See, I think I disagree in good faith what you are saying. First of all, the SDF slogan is power to the people, not power to the party or whoever. If you are saying that His Excellency Nijon Fundi should have groom up someone to take care of. Therefore, you are telling us that President Biya should groom up somebody should take care of the president of the nation. That's the concept of democracy. And if you are saying that the concept of democracy doesn't mean liberty, I disagree with you. Liberty in what extent? What are they doing that is against the canons of democracy? The canons of democracy. In the three canons, if we have to go by the canons of democracy, as we see in United States, the birthplace of democracy. You see this person, when in the 2016 runoff, Donald Trump called Ted Cruz little lying Ted, little Rubio, crooked Nancy, crooked Hillary, this and that and that and that. It is only the concept of democracy. Democracy is not an aspect where you must buy an ideology. Democracy is an aspect of convincing the majority. If you have the power,
Mr. Jarvis, we are talking democracy in terms of a party. We are not talking in terms of different parties that are competing.
I'm still talking about the party. The slogan of that party is power to the people.
Of course.
And Nijon, as Senior Apostle put it rightly, is that he has created that mark to say whoever has the power to the people should become the chairman. It's not because you are closer to my heart that I should select you, so that when the party crumble, it will be said that Nijon built the party and selected somebody and the person killed the party. Nijon is doing what he should have done, what he was supposed to be, was to be the president of Cameroon, that is ruling by example and letting people to understand that it is a party they created, and that party people have the choice to select their leader from the democratic perspective.
Mr. Jarvis, let me ask you.
Oui, c'est justement pourquoi j'ai dit ici à l'entame que l'honorable Oshi a été élu porter à la tête de ce parti, parce qu'il avait des qualités et des caractéristiques qui lui permettaient de porter ce parti.
Ndifo Ferdinand, are you too comfortable when people are brandishing Honorable Joshua Osei as too close to the CPDM and Honorable Nicho close to the CRM movement? Is that good? Does it reflect what obtains in your party?
Jonathan, not you very clearly, but let me just make this. That points I would like to drive. First of all, I want to be very, very clear that right from inception, the SDF has been a party that has talked about democracy and has been fighting democracy in this country. This idea of thinking that the chairman of the party and be success is not a principle that is that we believe in within the SDF. Within the SDF, we believe that officials have been the members of the party, the grassroots members, what we call national convention, elect the the official party. It is not the position of the chairman of the party, anybody to become chairman of the party. The party they have constitution, they have institutions that must be respected, and in that case, there is a procedure for the chairman of the party to be elected, and that procedure that in the national convention, delegates at the national convention elect the chairman of the party, and there is no way Frunze can on his own pick anybody to make chairman of the party. Having said that, I think what is currently happening between Mincher and OC is something that could have been avoided. It's something that is not even necessary. It's an argument that I don't even see how relevant it is to the party at this point. Personally, I have a problem with Mincher going out there in the public to bring allegations against Honorable C. Those allegations are very serious enough. I hope that Mincher is somebody within the SDS who understands how the party operates. If he realized that there is such allegations being levied against OC, he knows exactly how to channel those problems with the party. There are party structure in which report those events, those allegations to, and they will investigate the event. And if OC is found guilty, they will discipline him. We know that if it's a very disciplined party, it's a party structure that could carry on discipline with the party. To go to the public media and make a public show of something that is not even founded, not even, there are no, I would say baseless, because there is no evidence to that. To me, it's not only hurting himself, I mean Mincher, but he's also hurting. He might think that is in what he is doing hurting OC, but as a matter of fact, hurting the party. Honestly speaking, I don't see how helpful such argument can be for the party. Coming to the issue of chairmanship, I think at this moment in the life of the SDF needs somebody who is not a divider, somebody who do not hurt feelings, somebody who have the interest of the party at heart, somebody who main objective is to ensure that the SDF party comes back, the SDF of the 90s comes back. It's not somebody who is thinking about occupying the position of a chairmanship. It has been demonstrated very clearly that the two individuals that we have talked about, in my full opinion, it's not the position of the party, this is my personal opinion, that these two individuals lack what the SDF needs at this moment. Those two individuals stated very clearly that they do not have what it takes to lead the SDF at this very trying moment.
Okay, thank you very much. He says that what the SDF needs now is somebody who would unite and not divide, because clearly we are seeing tendencies already. OC is this way, Nietzsche is the other way. You agree with him, but let me take this message from Julius Chofo, who is watching us. He says, this is Julius Chofo, watching from the UK. Mr. Liu, I disagree with Bakwen. A good leader does not groom a successor. A good leader finds and brings forward talent, fosters healthy competition amongst them, and lets them compete healthily for positions, including the top position when it becomes available.
Yes, your question.
Yes, my question is, Ndifo, Richard says that the person that SDF actually needs now as a president or a chairman should be a person who would unite and not one who is taking the party towards one direction, because from the two factions already, the two persons that we are talking about, one is pulling the party this way, other is moving the other direction.
Of course, he's 100% correct. That's why I said here earlier that I suggested somebody very neutral, very far from even this discussion, because I don't see those two persons in question qualified to chair the party. Ninche has already a scandal collaborating with CRM, whether it is true or not. Just that stigma alone jeopardizes his position as chairman.
Why?
Automatically, because first and foremost, Bar said about tribe. I don't know who is not coming from a tribe in this country. Everybody is from a tribe, because if it is tribalism, then Osi Joshua is not qualified to be a parliamentarian in Douala. He's from the all the rest have to unanimously go in action because they believe in the same ideology. That division alone between the two of them shows that there is a tussle between the two of them. And one man is taking another person's disadvantage to sabotage a person. The next thing is that Osi was a crystal ball in SDF when he was to be voted as a flag bearer. But there are some errors you do along the line in politics that sabotage and can make a crystal ball become a dark object. As it stands now, that singular act of him signing among the parliamentarians that sent the document to the House of Congress in America has tainted or painted his image dark as far as Cameroonians are concerned. The celebrated Osi we had before becoming a flag bearer is not the Osi we are seeing today. So people can give another impression concerning him right now because he is not the person they voted to stand as a flag bearer. So if they have a notion that he belongs to the CPDM somehow, people could be 100% right or 100% 0% right. It's the same with Nietzsche. If Nietzsche sits on the program and says he prefers to, a political party member is not supposed to say he rather prefer to. What are you preferring to? If you are preferring some other party to another, means you have a link with them somehow. So you implicate yourself. That's why I say Cameroonians have to learn how to use the media. You can either use the media to sabotage yourself or to elevate yourself. And that is exactly what Nietzsche has done. If he has a choice in between two parties, it means he's not neutral. If he says I will prefer, it means he's not neutral. Of which, if he's SDF, they're supposed to say I have no dealing with SDF, I have no dealing with CRM, I have no dealing with PCRN. But if he says if I'm given a choice, it tells you that in his human psyche and his subconsciousness, there is already a registered partner that if things happen to go the way he wants, he already has a side to take.
Okay.
That's implicative.
Okay. Chidione, you are certainly following us from Yaoundé. You are a youth leader. Are you worried by what is happening in your party today?
Good evening, sir. Good evening to your ex. I'm grateful to be today. I say I want to recognize the great work doing. Having a well-organized
where is
on social media, bring her. The social media has led to political debate. So I think that your thoughts are laudable. That said, I want to think that what is now is something that can happen in any serious party that is democratic. Because you know, still at the context in any party which is democratic and private like SDF, this kind of things can happen. But if they do happen, effects that is not decided. So what I want those that are listening to understand is that what is happening is an indication that the SDF is a true democratic party. Because we are not into we don't have the state up that we say people are because control that, because there is something that they think they have some resources to control. But when you see this kind of fight, it's an indication that that house is actually protecting the virtue. And people know that the SDF dead. The recurrent and focus on the SDF, the position that SDF is alive. The SDF is coming back very soon and will surely take back this nation as far as finance is concerned. And I want to say to the people out there that they should be wise enough to seize this opportunity that the national chairman of the SDF, His Excellency Nijon Fundi, the SDF family as a whole is giving to embrace the SDF, embrace the people's ideas that will help to the problem of Cameroon facing now. Now, coming back to what between our party politics, like I said, in every house, place of a great family, these arguments can be, they are obvious, exist. But sincerely, as a man, I that these arguments would have been handled within the house. But nevertheless, we cannot just complaining. As a family, as looking at the way the disagreements have come up, what interest for us now is to handle it that whatever the case may be, STF comes out of the quota. Because so as they have situation over on our shoulders to carry aspiration of political the SCM is responsible.
Okay.
That's I want on Cameroonians and those observing what is happening. But they should not forget that the SDF has finished that leadership remains chairman Burundi. The SDF has handled its internal issues. So Cameroonians that are watching not take individual opinions for what the thinks. SDF will come to them through the canal. That is true net resolution and through the most authoritative voice of activities national chairman is expected. So people should not get dispersed in opinion.
Okay, the network is really poor. We are sorry for that. We hope that things get fixed so that we can get our participants out of this studio. Tula Suvi says that this should rather serve as an opportunity for the SDF to reorganize itself and bounce back powerfully.
Non, c'est important et je crois que quelque part elle a souligné. On parle quand même de deux grosses personnalités, parce qu'il faudrait qu'on parte de là. Oui. On parle de l'honorable Oshi et l'honorable Nietzsche. Ce n'est pas quand même deux jeunes gamins qui entrent dans le SDF, non. Ce sont pratiquement des personnes qui ont accompagné le père
Nijon
Fundi, ça il faut le dire. Donc ce ne sont pas des enfants qui viennent d'entrer dans la politique, c'est des personnes qui savent exactement ce qu'il faut faire ou alors ce qu'est le SDF. Et maintenant, si on va de ce postulat, et puis il a dit quelque chose lorsqu'il parlait du slogan du SDF, vous conviendrez avec moi, sans pour autant avoir un parti pris, qu'en principe, je vais dire comme dans le RDPC, l'honorable Oshi est un peu le meilleur risque pour le SDF. Ça permettait que
C'est ce que vous dites?
je dis ça comme ça, oui, parce que j'essaie de colmater avec tout ce qui s'est dit sur le plateau. J'essaie de rassembler tout ce qui s'est dit sur le plateau. J'ai dit, attendez, le consultant a souligné quelque chose de pertinent. Du moment si on constitue ou alors si on continue à accepter le dans lequel un parti politique est construit autour d'une idéologie, il serait extrêmement dangereux de voir un leader d'un parti politique continuer ou alors se donner du plaisir à coutoyer un autre parti politique qui ont totalement des visions différentes ou des perceptions différentes. Parce que lorsqu'on regarde un peu le comportement de l'honorable Nietzsche, moi je vais pousser le raisonnement plus loin, ça sur le plan sociologique. Et vous conviendrez avec moi que ça épouse clairement et nettement la perception et la vision d'un certain parti politique qui est animé par la violence, qui est animé par le bruit, qui est animé par la contestation permanente. Voilà un peu et on se rend compte que non, à force de coutoyer ce parti politique, forcément il y a des bribes d'éléments ou alors des mentalités qu'il va copier et tenter tant bien que mal de l'imposer à son système. On a toujours connu le SDF, c'est un parti de réconciliation, c'est un parti de construction, c'est un parti qui agit avec douceur et avec fermeté, bien qu'elle soit hyper douce. Donc, moi je dis, Oshi est le meilleur risque pour le SDF. Ça, c'est une évidence.
Meilleur risque pour le SDF, en tout cas, c'est vous qui le savez, but, did you say the SDF failed to groom somebody? Many people really don't think so, because many people think your reasoning is not the best. This one says, good evening, Mr. Leo. Please, I strongly disagree with Madam Akwen on the idea that Nijon Fundi ought to have groomed a successor. If that is done, that would have defeated the purpose of a democratic party. Enomulu Bath is writing from Bamenda. Now, when you look at what is happening, do you think that the base of the party suffers? Is there a clear divide between the top and the base of the party?
Well, Mr. Kom, before I answer your question, I want to still go back to what I said previously.
Okay.
Yes, because people say they disagree with me. You know, in a house, when your children are fighting, will you tell the child that who has power should win? You'll be able to separate them and, you know, put sense into their head. That's the perspective of a leader for me. So I think that Nijon was supposed to, like, you know, Joshua Osi was being elected as the flag bearer of the party. But today, the party fights against him. They said he has gone against the ideology of the party because he committed some errors that was not, like, you know, he was not supposed to sign the petition that was meant for the Senate in the US. So to me, I think that it is not always the choice of the people that is always right. At times, the leader can, you know, stand his ground and say, I created this party for a purpose, and if I bring this person in, it is for the interest of the party. So I think it's not like, you know, trying to impose on the people someone, but he can bring somebody that, you know, he thinks has the ability to bring the party to its peak. How
do you bring the person?
By proposing, he can propose someone, because the trouble we have in the CP, in the SDF, is because of laxitude. Everyone does what he thinks is right, because they say there's democracy, you can do anything, you can say anything, and things are going the way they are going. But if the leader at one point stands his ground and say, enough is enough, I can still bring someone, I can still tell you guys, because in politics we talk about discipline. When there is no discipline in a party, when there is no discipline in a home, things go the way they go. It is because of the lack of discipline. Because if they were disciplined, if they were able, you know, to garnish the fact that we're in democracy and it is not a liberal state, they would have, garnished themselves and, come to the common goal of the party. Because now we are seeing two people having different ideas, different ideologies, which does not concord to the party's discipline. So I think that the president would have, proposed someone that could be like a reconciliatory agent, someone that can reconcile the party, bring the people together. I think that's still the job of the chairman of the party. So I do not think that he's imposing or like trying to groom someone. He can propose someone that has the interest of the party. And to your question, Mr. Kum, you said that some people think that Nietzsche is closer to the MRC and Nijon and OC is closer to the LDPC. As I previously said that in political parties we have infiltrators. In all parties we have infiltrators. People that do not concord to the idea. People that don't even know why they are in a party. People that are there sent to be like spies to destroy a party. That is the role of some people. And if we find these two people arguing, because at one point it's a disgrace for top officials of of a country, because both of them, they are parliamentarians. They are supposed to bring out good examples. They are supposed to like bring out the examples for the youth, because I can say both of them are youths. What are they trying to impact to the youth? What are the examples they are trying to show to the youth? They are not positive aspects for youths to follow them. So I think that at one point, the chairman has to put a hand on the table and says enough is enough, and I will bring someone that will reconcile this party, because I am already old. I am going to my retirement age, and I do not want my party to divide, because that's what is happening in one party, as my co-panelist said. Liberalism. Everybody says what he wants, he does what he wants, and everything goes at his own side because of no discipline.
In one party?
I cannot sit the party here, but we all know there is a party that, everybody does anything and they say it's democracy. That's not democracy. In democracy, we have discipline.
So democracy is not anarchy.
Democracy is not anarchy, and democracy is not liberalism where anybody can say anything or anything. In a party, you have a discipline. You have an ideology you're supposed to follow. And if you are not able to follow that discipline of the party, it means you are not disciplined. It means you are yourself. You are not practicing that democracy that is being promoted by your party.
One thing very important I learned in politics is this: there is always a voice that leads the people, but when the voice does not echo the voice of those it's leading, it becomes weak. Okay, Emmanuel Esanjok writing from Tico. Good evening, Mr. Kum. I suggest that Pa Frundi remains at the head of the SDF to put order in-house before any party elections. Greetings to you all. Pa Vic is writing from Bomenda. Do you think it is time for a generational switch in the SDF also?
Yes, I strongly believe that we need a generational switch, because if you look at what other parties they're doing, they are reviving they are looking at 2025, and you see the structures they are putting in place. If you look at Cameroon very well, Apostle said, God forbid, and when he talked about various countries in Africa putting successor and the rest. But if you look at the social media, in Cameroon, when you start getting rumor, just believe that possible things could happen. Yeah. So we need a generational switch in such a way that this party, we need younger generation to take over. We need a vibrant generation. And this vibrant generation in SDF, Nietzsche or OC, I think both of them can still produce the result.
Yeah,
I kind of find it.
I want you to clarify for a new that is the younger generation. Are you seeing a lot of you think that my seeing him in the party and Maurice can be
what's happening.
You
Yes,
that,
yes.
Say
Those who are animating the campaign as the youth. Generational switch, but which is coming slowly. It's not rapid as per se, because what is happening to SDF is different from what is happening to other parties.
Okay.
What is happening to SDF is an aspect of democracy. What is happening in other parties is not an aspect of democracy. SDF is moving democracy to the next level. That is telling us that in democracy, it is not the chairman that should vie for a position of a president. It is the party's decision to choose whoever can stand in and represent the ideology of the party. And that's what SDF did in 2018. And that's what SDF is about to do now, to tell you that if the chairman finds it necessary that he is tired, it is a position which is supposed to be elected. He's finding it that he's tired and he wants to hand over. As you listen to our brother in the United States, he said there are principles to elect a chairman, which means that it is an elected position, not a handpicked position. Let's get this clear. And if SDF is doing a transformation, I think SDF is building its future for 2025. SDF probably have learned from the lessons in 2018. They have learned from the lesson of not going for other elections. So they are looking for a way that the youth, remember that there is a vibrant, we have a vibrant youth in Cameroon for 2025. People are looking at 2025. SDF is looking at 2025. They're not just looking at the fact that whoever takes him from Niger is stronger than Joe Biden. But Joe Biden is the president of the United States of America. But Niger and his strong state still decide that, hey, I have to hand over. It means that he's looking at the future. It is time for these old people to give way to the youth, Mr. Liu. It is time for them to give way to the youth and be as coaches for us. Example, Gaga and Maaji, all this, the rest, all should give way to the youth. I think I should expect this too from CPDM in such a way that CPDM should want to tell us that, hey, the chairman is giving way for other persons to take over. And so this democracy, we keep saying Cameroon is an advanced state of democracy. If not of SDF within the 1990s, we would not have had that freedom of mass communication law that was launched and freedom of multi-party politics that was launched in 1990. So again, as from your question based on generational switch, I think that the generational switch from the leadership position of the party is slow, but from the implementation of positioning of key stakeholders is fast. Because if you look at Cameroon in 5 years ago, parties were not investing in sending youth to plateaus to talk about the ideas, to talk about. But today we have a whole set of calendar, a whole set of roster that youth move around, talk about their parties and the rest and the rest.
Yeah, but that's not a problem. For example,
no, I'm not saying that from
I remember there was a program where I had Alex Ngepi and the guy who's in prison now,
Yes.
And they were talking. We were talking about the need for a generational switch, and they said in their party was very, very active. At the time, Professor Maurice Kamto was out there, and I cited that you guys are young people, but he's out there with Pindai Kuka. This so that the former
he was with Pindai Kuka, Ngogam. That's why I said. That's why I said that.
Cabal, yeah.
That's why I said that.
Does it suffice that you send young people to talk on TV?
No, Mr. Leo. That's why I said there is need for these old people. That's why I said there is need for these old people to step down and coach us. They should act like coaches. That we see that, but for other parties it's slow. There is need for us to now come in and take over. Like you see what SDF is doing. I like what Nincho, whether they like it or not. It's good enough in terms of the one thing for sure is that both of the council for stand as they do not form a separate party. But it's something that happened in the United States of America.
Richard, the party is in difficulties whether we like it or not, but publicity, but he thinks that it is good for your party. What should be the strategy for a way out now?
No, I didn't get your question.
Yeah, I am saying that the party is in difficulty. Some people see it as bad publicity. Others, like Tamai Javis, say there's nothing as bad publicity. It's working in your favor. What should be the strategy? Because almost everybody is looking forward to that person that will take over the mantle of power from Nijon Frunzi. What is the way forward for your party now?
Well, the party has a very bright, I think, strong on the SDF party to sit down and reach that. I think as it starts, the chairman should stand on there for the next maybe year or two, so that the party restrategize. We get the right persons who are going to take over, because we don't need change, take up change. It has demonstrated very clearly as we stand that the people we have had our hopes that failed us, the people within the party that we had hoped that they will take the mantle of command, the national chair, and manage the party, they have failed us by their actions, and from the things they have done. Few weeks have demonstrated that they do not qualify to handle the position of chairman of a party like the SDA. Is not one that is handed over to anybody. It's my hope that Chairman Nijon hang on there. We are willing to hang. If you ask my opinion, I think that it should hang on there for a period of a year or two, so that we strategize and find a way forward for the party, and look for those individuals in the party who can manage. The step is filled with a lot of very competent people. Some of them that some of us didn't know about. My brother, Mr. G. Jordan is here on with us. A lot of people are getting to know him. But that is a break with the party that many people do not even know about. And so there are many more of this kind of breaks within the party. And I think that the party needs young, energetic people with very bright ideas, people with fresh ideas, not people who still rely on the ideas of the 90s carry the party along in 2020. People who will come up with brand new ideas, fresh ideas. People who are able to mobilize not only members of the party, but people who can also mobilize the grassroots. People who have connected with the grassroots, people who have who know grassroots militants they want and can connect with the grassroots. Not people who sit up there and they feel that because they have maybe walked some ladder with the party and they have gotten to the position, they become so arrogant and intolerant that they feel that they have become untouchable. That is not what there is this moment. There is a need an organizer. It needs somebody who, like, see, as a historian, take us back to what happened in Ghana when the young Kwame Nkrumah just took over the leadership of the United World Nation. He started a whole new approach within the party that many people thought about. And he started by going down there in the grass and mobilizing the grassroots and telling me party acts, militants. I think those are the kind of ideas we need at this moment. We need people who come in with ideas of the 21st century, ideas in time, taking into consideration technology, taking into consideration, because the leaders feel to understand is that perception in politics is as important as reality. What people perceive needs to be taken seriously. It is not enough to just create gold. That is just something that people are complaining. We need to listen to the people. We need to listen to their complaint, to what they are talking about. We take that very seriously.
Okay.
The SDM need to be competitive.
Sorry, the network this evening is really not good. We have to end about the SDF at that level, except any other person has something to add. We have a second topic to discuss. If not, we'll find ourselves discussing.
So, I tell you just briefly on this SDF issue. I think at one point in time when you got this conclusion, it was that the competition, we need a vibrant SDF which is highly competitive, healthy for the party. So I think that people should not be discouraged as to what is happening. It's normal in politics that you have camps like that, but at the end of the day, they are all looking at general interest of the party. Nincho feels like under him SDF will be better. Osi feel that under him SDF will be better. Both of them are looking for
okay.
a better SDF.
Good evening, Mr. Liu and others. Nijon Frunzi na Oga. If something pass you, you leave it. A president in a party is not Fufu and Eru. Those two are not ripe yet. Let's say the truth. When you are mature, it shows. I love Nijon. He is very, very mature. The people were insulting the man like a child. Oh, Cameroonians. We do not know what is good. We have not seen anything yet. Is Nijon a fool? Sisi is writing from Limbe. Okay, this was Mr. Leo. Why do Cameroonians hate old people? The pastor mentioned somebody from Bamenda. What Nijon suffered in 1990 to 1992, could they have stood it? Nigerians are different. That is why we do not even know our history. Okay. Hello, Mr. Leo. At this point in time, the two persons are more interested in power, not to carry the party forward. The worst thing the SDF can do is to put any of the two today to pilot the affairs. If they try, I think we're gonna just prepare a burial ceremony for the party. I think the SDF is about entering the threshold. Jane Kwele writing from Douala. Good evening to you, Jane Kwele. Luis writing from Limbe says, good evening, Mr. Liu. Others are opposing Madame Akwen. I think she is right, but she should have said the SDF did groom someone to take over from Nijon Frunzi, not Nijon himself grooming someone to replace him. Luis, good evening to you. Good evening. Program, I love what my Media Prime is doing. The truth about the issue that we had was sold to wicked. The government is very bad. Government now, SDF is selling the southern Cameroonians. The army will come to the village. Okay. Mr. Eric writing from Santa Nijon. Okay. Mr. Eric, good evening to you. This one says, good evening, Mr. Liu. Mr. Kum, I want to thank all the panelists for their modest contributions on this topic, but what is happening in the SDF party today is very dicey. And if care is not taken, the party can crumble because of these two individuals. They have a lot of followers that they can carry to any direction. Gwaxi is writing from Boya. Good evening, Mr. Kum. Interesting program. My regards to Apostle Ambe and Tamai Travis. I totally disagree with Madam Akwen. Any good leader don't need to prepare somebody to succeed him. Ngwa Allen is writing from Bamenda. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Please, we are not getting your contributor from Yaoundé here in Chang. It's a good program, though. Fort Solar MacBless writing from Chang. Good evening to you. Network problem. We are going to fix that tomorrow. We hope so. Good evening. Greetings to you guys in the studio. My special regards goes to you, Divine and Apostle Ambe. To me, I think Honorable Nincho should be given the opportunity to pilot the activities of this SDF. As chairman, we have all seen him. Okay. K. Ferdinand Langai writing from Bamenda. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Please, Apostle Ambe should go for presidential elections. We will support him. I see a leader in him. Please, let's give him a chance. Thierry is writing from Douala. You're pushing Apostle Ambe. Okay, we are going to take a short break. When we come back, we discuss our second topic for tonight.